I'm coming in to share a dream that I had yesterday when I woke up. I was with a female apostle who also happened to be the pastor of the church where I was a member. We were talking. All of a sudden, we had a sharp disagreement. I shared what I believed. She listened. Then she said, "Listen to heaven." The implication behind her words were, what I'm about to say to you is what heaven is saying. And what you just said was not. At this point, I climb up on the desk. I lie down on my stomach on top of the desk, and I'm about 2 breaths away from her face, and I calmly reply, "Heaven has been speaking." She asks, "Which heaven?" I reply, "The first, second, and third heaven." Then I remove myself from the desk. She stands up, then she walks throughout the congregation, ministering. As she is about to walk by me, I reach for her. She holds my hand for a minute. We look into one another's eyes. I apologize and ask for forgiveness. As I do so, I'm thinking, I'm going to be the bigger person here and repair the wound. I discern that while she may have forgiven me, she was done with me. She will never trust me again, is the discerning thought. Here's the interpretation. There are women in ministry who are grossly unhealed. The flesh and the devil keep these women at odds with one another. And God is using this dream to reveal how many women in ministry are unable to trust another woman in ministry. Again, the sole reason is because of unhealed wounds. These wounds cause many women to walk away from valuable relationships for any type of mistake. If this is you, pray this. Cleanse me from anything in my heart, O God, which stops me from trusting the unknown things that I can't see in my sister or in my leader. Now, I will pray. Father, I pray for every woman whose leader made her feel like she is not representing heaven. I pray for healing for the female ministry leaders who hurt the congregants, who are also female ministers. Heal my sisters thoroughly. Enable them to trust other women in the gospel enough to follow their leader temporarily or permanently in accordance with your will. I ask for women in ministry to be more merciful and to show more grace upon other females who they believe cross the line in some way, who they believe offend them in some way, who do not believe in the God inside of one another, or who mistreat them publicly in some way. I pray that rifts, schisms, and disagreements be removed far from women in ministry and in leader and follower relationships. I too, Sana, I release the will of heaven, which is always to love one another with Christ's love versus with man-made temporal love. Since there are typically more women than men in local assemblies, I pray that you will teach them how to relate to one another with your nature, with your character, with your power. Infuse your glory into Hetusana, Isana, Hetuvana, Heshala, female relationships now. And I want to give you some prophetic wisdom now. If you don't have the type of ministry your leader has, it's easy to be perceived as less than. Listen, beloved, different doesn't mean less than. I pray that Father give you a revelation of what your assignment means in heaven versus in earth. There are works that minister solely to God at various seasons and sometimes even forever. At times, Father may lead certain vessels to mentor, to apostolically cover, or to pastor a small flock. Think of Samuel, Elijah, and even Moses for a period of time. Enoch was so intimate with God that God could not stand for him to stay separated from him in this earth. So he said, I love you, son. Come on up here where you dwell. Now, I'm sure if Enoch lived today, most folk would consider him lesser when it comes to the twisted way that we view a viable ministry. Ministry is and always will be unto God, not men. And just because it appears you are ministering to a lot of people, Hatusana, or have a ministry to a large following, it doesn't mean you have a viable ministry unto Father. Father, I pray that what you've allowed me to share will be used to open the eyes, Zoosh, of your people. Father, give your true vessels security in their callings and give them a revelation of what it means to be a different type of administration from what's common. Lastly, there are times when you are following someone for a season and you simply have to remain humble and govern yourself according to Ecclesiastes 5:2, which says, be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and you are on the earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Now, in this instance, see God as the leader. So if you reread that, it will say, be not rash with your mouth, and let not Tusana your heart be hasty to utter anything before your leader. Or before your sister. For God is in heaven and you are on the earth. Therefore, let your words be few. It's just that simple. Pray for your leader and allow her to think whatever she wants to think. Mashana. If she thinks heaven speaks through her, but not you, so be it. You don't need to qualify, disqualify, defend, or prove that. Heaven will or will not. Leave that to Almighty Jehovah God. Also, you need to discern if your time of following this particular type of leader has come to an end. Ask yourself, how possible is it for me to follow a wounded, lofty soul who I can see will never trust me again? Because trust is better than acknowledgement and authentication of your gifting and ministry assignment. I want you to know, if this is the direction that you are being led into, there are women who are whole and secure and can help you in your ministry assignment and can cover you as you ascend up out of these types of relationships and transition into the new ones. I am such a woman who may be able to provide short-term mentoring for you. When and if you're ready, go to bit.ly, bit.ly, 3 in glory, capital T for 3 and capital G for glory. So request an info packet. That's bit.ly, bit.ly, 3 in glory. Now, I want to leave you with this. Don't allow what you are experiencing with women in ministry to keep you in a place of unrest. Be still and know your God. Unplug from it all for a minute, and I mean all of it. You don't have to physically be present every time the doors open. You don't have to take every phone call. Unplug. Stop scrolling down the timeline of the ministry or the leader. Unplug from it all for a minute to gain clarity, to gain direction, and to gain healing if needed. Apostle Karen Pina here, your glory teacher. Heavenly Success and Ascension Specialist, signing out. Share this with another sister or ministry leader. Blessings.